Hi guys, now let us see the topic about the nested loop. See, what is meant by nested loop? If a loop exists inside the body of the another loop, then it is known as the nested loop. See, the syntax of the nested loop is syntax is, let us take for loop, two for loop. Here first outermost loop, this one is outer loop. Here what is the syntax of the for loop? Very first initialization part. Here we are going to initialize the variable. So this is initialize, this expression is initialize. Initialize part. After that test condition. Here testing the condition in this part. Next at last increment and decrement, or it is known as update expression. This is the outermost loop. Next here we are going to, this is the body of the outer loop. Here in the body of the loop we are going to specify or declare another one loop. Here another one for loop. Here very first the syntax initialize part, next test conditional part, semicolon, after that update expression. Here open brace statement, at last close the brace. Statement 1, statement 2, etc. So how many loops were there here? Totally 2 loops. See, the loop level can be up to n times. See here first this one is outer loop. And this is inner loop. This for loop is known as inner loop. See, this loop can be any type, inner loop can be. See, we can declare for loop, or inside we can declare while loop or do while loop, any loop we can declare. So this outer loop and inner loop we can define like this also. Here say this is one example, this is one syntax. Here next second one, here outer loop I am declaring it as do while loop. Do, the syntax of the do while loop is do, at last open brace, here we are closing the brace, next while, after condition, this is test condition, test condition and semicolon. This is the syntax of the do while loop. See, inside this do while loop I can declare for loop or while loop, any loop we can declare. See, here I am declaring the while loop. Here in while loop the syntax is very first while and test condition, next open brace and close brace. Inside this is the statement. See, here this is the do while loop, this is the outer loop. and this one while loop, this inside this one is inner loop. In same way we can declare while loop, then this is second one, next one third syntax. Here I am declaring the while loop condition, opening brace and close brace. This is the syntax of the while loop. Here inside this update expression, increment and decrement all come inside the statement. In same way here for do while also the update expression will come inside the statement. Here this one is the while loop, this is condition, update expression. Next here this is the inside the body of this while loop. I am declaring the for loop. For here the syntax of the for loop is, this is the expression 1, that is initialization part. Next conditional part, this expression is test condition. Next at last update part, this is open brace and close brace. Inside this set of statement we can declare. Say statement, here I am closing the while loop, update expression. See, this is while loop is outer loop, this for loop is inner loop. See, we can declare any kind of loop statement inside the outer loop. See, totally how many loops were there in C? For loop, do while loop and while loop were there. In this looping statement, let us take first for loop. Inside the for loop we can declare the another one for loop, the same for loop. Other ways, inside this for loop we can declare this do while loop also. Next one, other ways, inside this for loop we can declare this while loop also. So any kind of loop can be declared inside the loop. So in same way here in do while loop, here for in this example I have declared the while loop. Inside this do while loop I have declared the while loop. See, instead of this while loop we can declare the for loop also, and we can declare the while loop also in the inside this do while loop. In same way in the while loop, here I have declared the for loop. Instead of this for loop we can declare this do while loop also inside the while loop, and we can declare the same while loop also inside the for loop. In this way any type of or any kind of loop can be declared inside the outermost loop. This is the syntax of the nested loop. See, now let us see how this loop nested loop works. See, for example, now let us take the two for loop. Here first for loop, here I am declaring the variable values. Let us take integer variable. Here I, the variable, the loop variable I is equal to, I am starting from 1 or 0 or 1, anything. Here I am initializing the value from 1. Next I am test condition. I am checking this I value should be lesser than or equal to 3. That means the value from 1 to 3, from 1 up to 3 the loop will be repeated. So next at last here the updation part, the increment or decrement. Here I am going to increment this value I plus plus, that is I is equal to I plus 1 or I plus plus. Here This is the first for loop, that is the outer loop. Next here I am declaring the another one for loop. Here I am declaring the integer value, how much the initialized value is I is equal to 1. Next I is lesser than, no, here already I have declared the variable I in outer loop. So here the variable name should be j or something. It should not duplicate name, variable name it won't accept, because whenever declaring the variable it should be unique. Duplicate variable name it won't accept. So here in the second for loop I am declaring the variable as integer j. Here j is equal to 1. Next j is lesser than or equal to, let us take it 2. That means how many times this loop will be executed? Inner loop will executed up to 2 times, that is when j is equal to 1 and j is equal to 2. Here I am incrementing this j value. So here I am closing this loop, inner loop. So this one is outer loop, this one is inner loop. See, for each and every time, how, let us see how these loops work, nested loop works. See, for each and every time loop already we had seen, inside the statement will be executed. Here until this condition is true, the inner part statement will be repeated again and again. See, what is the inner part value? That is statement. Here I am telling to increment, here I am using the another loop, I am giving the value 1 to 2, that is inner loop it will execute 2 times. The outer loop will repeat how many times? It will repeat up to 3 times. See, first step when I is equal to 1, see how it execute, let us see. Suppose in the program, see, now let us print this one I and j, then you will be easily understand. Here print, suppose inside I am giving printf, next %d, comma, I am telling to print the I value and j value. See, here this %d, it prints the value of I, and this %d prints the value of j. Here at very first this outer loop will be executed, that is I value, how much I had initialized this I value to 1. So it check the condition, and if the condition is true, then inside the outer loop, that body of the loop will be executed, every statement will be executed. Here inside this body of the outer loop I had given another one loop, that is this is the inner loop. See, until the condition is true, this loop will be repeated again and again. Already we had seen, this is initialized value will be executed at very first time only, before the first iteration. After the first iteration, these 2 parts only will be considered the executed, that is I plus the increment part and the test condition part. For each and every time after completing this inner value, this I value will be repeated and check the condition. If the condition is true, again the inner part will be repeated. See, now let us see, first I part, it's check the condition and it goes inside the body of the loop. Here it is going to execute this inner part. Here inner part, the inner loop variable name is j. See, now after coming inside, after checking the I value 1 is lesser than 3, it come inside. Inside I have declared another one variable j, that is initialized value is 1. Now j value is how much? Is equal to 1. It check the condition whether it is lesser than or equal to 2. The condition is true. So if it is true, again this body of the loop will be executed. See, for this for loop, outer loop, this is the body of the loop. For this inner loop, this is the body of the inner loop. Here this inner loop condition is satisfied, so inner part of this body of the loop will be executed. The inner part is I am telling to print the value of I and j. So here prints the value of I and j value. What is the I value? I value is 1 in output screen. Here it will print like this, 1 and 1. Here this is the important thing. After completing the inner loop only, then it will go to the outer loop. See, here inner loop it didn't complete it because only one value, that is initialize value only it has checked and it print this value. After printing this value, what it will do? It will go to the j increment part. Next it will check the part. If the condition is true, again the inner part will be executed. Here after printing this I and j value, now j will be incremented. Now what is the j value? J value is 2. Next it will check the condition after incrementing, j is lesser than or equal to 2. Here j equal to 2, so this condition also true. So again it will go inside and it will print the I and j value. Now what is the value of I? I value is 1, j value is 2. After again the inner j value will be incremented. Now j value is how much? Now j will be incremented to 3 and it will check the condition whether this lesser than 2. Here the condition is false because j value is 3, it is not lesser than 2. So this condition is false. Once it's false, again it will go to the outer loop. Here only outer loop I have completed. This is inner. After completing this inner loop, it will go to the I value and I value will be incremented and it will check the condition. See, now what is the I value? I value will be incremented to previous value plus 1. Previous value is 1, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Now I value is 2. Again it will check the condition. Condition is true because 2 is lesser than 3. This condition is true. If it is true, it will go inside the inner loop. Now when I is equal to 2, it go inside the inner loop. Again the inner loop it will execute from where it will initialize the value of j to 1. From 1 to 2 it will print the value. This is the inner loop execution. J is equal to 1, j is equal to 2. At that time the condition is true. Until the condition is true, it will print this value. These values will be printed. Once the condition is false, it come outside the loop. So here now I value is how much? J value is how much? J is equal to 1. Then condition is true, it will print the value of I and j. Here what is the value of I now? I value is 2. So it print the value 2 and j value. I value is 2, j value is 1. Again it will, j value will be incremented by 1, that is 1, j value is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. Now it check the condition. Now j value is 2. It check the condition, 2 is lesser than or equal to 2. This condition satisfied. So it come inside. Again it will print the value of I and j. Now what is the value of I? I value is 2. What is the j value? J value also 2. J value is 2. Again the j value will be incremented. J value is now 3. Here it check the condition, 3 is not lesser than 2. So here this one false. Once it is false, again it comes out and after that it will, I value will be incremented. See, now what is the I value? Previous value plus 1. previous value of I is 2. Now 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Here I value will be how much? 3. After that it will check the condition whether 3 is lesser than or equal to 3. These conditions are true because what is the value of I? I is 3, so equal to 3. So again it will go inside. Now what is the value of j here inner loop? For each and every iteration when it come inside, the j value will be, starting value will be 1 to 2 times it will be, this inner loop will be executed. So here now j value is 1. Next if it will check the condition 1 is lesser than 2. So if it is true, it comes inside the body of the loop. In the body of the loop I am telling to print the value of I and j. What is the value of I now? Now value of I is 3. Here I value is 3 and j value is how much? J value is 1. Next j value will be incremented to how much? J value will be previous value plus 1. Previous value is 1. Now j value is 2. Now it check the condition 2 is lesser than 2. So it come inside. Here it will print the value of I and j. Now current value of I is how much? 3 and current value of j is how much? 2. So this 3 and 2 will be print here. Next j value will be incremented. Previous value of j is 2. 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Now j value is 3. Here it check the condition 3 is not lesser than 2. So here also the condition is false. Once condition is false, it terminate this loop and it will go to the outer loop. Now this outer loop value I will be incremented. What is the previous value of I? I is 3. Now I will be incremented to how much? 4. Now I value is equal to 4. Now it check the condition whether 4 is lesser than or equal to 3. Here this condition is false. So once it is false, it terminate and it goes to the next statement of the outermost for loop. Here it come outside of the loop. So here when I is equal to 4, here the condition is false. It come outside. So say here for each and every iteration the inner part will be completely executed. Say when I is equal to 1, the inner part j is equal to 1 and after that j will be incremented to 2. Next j will be incremented to 3. Once it is 3, it will terminate to the loop. Next when I is equal to 2, next part I will be increment. At that time also this loop will be repeated. Here the j value will be 1, 2, 3, but I value will be how much? Constant, because for each and every iteration the I value will be same for these 3 values. Here I value is 2, so 2, 1, next here I and j 2 and 2, next when j is equal to 3 it will terminate outside. So for each and every iteration inside the inner loop the 1 and 2 will be executed. So how many times this loop will be executed? See here 3 into 2, totally 6 times the loop will be executed. See the value will be up to 6. Here see this is the output at very first. Two, 3, 4, 5, totally 6 times the value will be initially. See now let us see the simple example. See suppose if you want to print the row and column of a matrix, by using this for loop we can print the rows and columns of a matrix. See the matrix, this is the matrix order. Here this and all row 1, row 2, column 1, column 2. Here this point is row 1, column 1. this point is row 1 column 2, this point is row 2 column 1, and this point is row 2 and column 2. This is the matrix method. This is 2 cross 2 matrix. 2 cross 2 matrix. Suppose 3 cross 2 matrix means totally how many? This is 3 cross 2 matrix means 3 rows and 2 columns. So row 1, row 2, row 3, here column 1 and column 2. Row 1 column 1, row 2 column 1, row 3 column 1, here row 1 column 2, row 2 column 2 and row 3 column 3. This is the matrix of 3 cross 2 matrix. See, now we are going to write a simple program. By help of this program we are going to display the row column numbers. Here first header file include see, by help of this nested loop we are going to print the row and column of the matrix. So here we need 2 for loop. So I am declaring the variable I and j. See, instead of I and j, let us take it as r row for row, r and column c. Here the very first for loop, that is outer loop, in this for loop I am declaring the r, I am initializing the r value to 1. Let us start from 1 because row start from 1. Next, first let us see the simple one, that is 2 rows and 3 columns, 2 cross 3 matrix. So r is equal to 1, r is lesser than or equal to how much? 2, because we need only 2 rows. Next I am incrementing this row value. Next I am closing this for loop here. The inner loop, another one for loop. By help of this for loop I am going to initialize the column value, that is column value c is equal to 1. Next column value should be lesser than or equal to how much? 3 columns. Next c plus plus, that is column, incrementing the column value. Now here I am telling to print the value of which one? Row and value of percentage d column. Here r and c. Here I am closing the inner loop for loop here. Next here get ch, this is main loop. See, this one, this program is used to illustrate the nested loop. This is command line. This is for our reference. During the execution time, this line will not be considered. This is for our reference. See, in command line I have mentioned the statement, this is illustrate the nested loop. See here, when I am running this program, see at very first here already we have seen how this loop will be executed. For each and every time the inner loop will be completely executed. See here, when r is equal to 1, this is the outer loop, and this one inner loop. See, when r is equal to 1, check the condition true, again go inside, c value will be 1. Now this condition also true, so it will print the, if it is true, in the body of the loop I am telling to print the row and column value. This is the output value, row and column. See, what is the row and column value? First 1, 1, it will print the value 1 and 1. Next condition true, it will increment the value c, condition true, check the condition. Now value of c is 2, 2 is lesser than 3, condition true, again it will print the row and column value. What is the row and column value? Row value is 1, now column value is 2. At this time c is equal to 2. Next again c will be incremented. Now c value is how much? 3. It will check the condition. If it is 3, again it will print the row and column value. Now when c is equal to 3, it will print the row and column value. Row value is 1, column value is 3. Next this c will be incremented to 4. Once it is 4, it will check the condition false. So here it terminate the loop and it will go to the outer loop. After terminating, here only I am closing this brace, so it will go to the next loop. Here r value will be incremented. Now what is the value of r? Previous value of 1, r previous value is 1, 1 plus 1 2. Now r value will be 2. Again it will check the condition, r is lesser than or equal to 2. This one condition is true because r is less equal to 2. So again will go inside, where each and every time when get inside, c value will be how much? 1. At that time it will print the check the condition, condition is true, so it will print the r and column value. Now row value is how much? Row value is 2, column value is 1. Again this column value will be incremented to 2. Here condition true, so it print the row and column value. Again column value will be 3. After incrementing, column value will be 3. Now condition true, so it will print the value 2 and 3, that is I and row and column value. Next column value will be incremented to 4. After incrementing, this inner loop will be terminated because this condition is false. Next, once it is false, then it will go to the outer loop. In the outer loop, now r value will be how much? R value will be 3. It will check the condition whether r is lesser than or equal to 2. R value is now 3. 3 is not lesser than 2 because it is 3 is greater than 2. So this condition is false. Once it is false, it terminate and will come outside of the loop. Here this is the loop, outer loop. Once it is false, it will come outside and will come to this statement. This is the inner loop. And this one, this for see, once r is equal to 3, then this will terminate outside. So this value will be executed. Suppose when it is printing in the screen, it will output will be like this. See, what is the output here? 1 1 1 2 1 3 2 1 2 2 2 3. Output will be printed like this. If you want to print in the matrix order, here we can give it like this. See, in front of this, for each and every time, each and every row and column, we need some space, tab space. So here we can use the escape sequence, that is /t. /t is used for tab space. For each and every result, when you are printing this column and row, it will leave some space. So here the output will be like this: 1 1 row and column, 1 space, after that 1 2, 1 space, 2 1 1 3, 2 1 2 2, 1 space and 2 3. Here it is not matrix method, because matrix method means row and column wise we should print. So for each and every column, after finishing the each and every column, before going to the next row, we should here use the /n, printf /n. This /n it is used to print the content on the next line, that is in new line. So for each and every time after finishing the column value inner loop, before it is entering into the outer loop, the cursor will be come to the new line. So here, for example, when r is equal to 1, this column will be completed. When r is equal to 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2 and 1 comma 3 will be finished. After 1 comma 3 column value is 3, next it will come outside of the loop. Before it come outside, here I am telling to print the result on next line. So here it will print like this. After first row finishing, when second row it will print like this: 2 1 2 2 2 3. So it will print in the matrix method. This is the matrix. First row first column, first row second column, first row third column. This is row 1, row 2, column 1, column 2, column 3. Otherwise we can give it like this also. See, before %d, here we can give r and d, that is /t, after that 1. This is for used for escape sequence tab space. Here r and %d, that is before the value, row value, this letter r will be printed. Next here c and %d, for each and every time before the value of column, c will be printed. So here see, for each and every output, in front of this %d is used for row, this is for column, this %d is used for row. So before printing the row value and column value, these letters also will be printed, c and r value. So here how it will be print: r and %d, that is value of r and 1. Next column and %c, the value of column is this before c. So r1 c2 r1 c3, this r and c letter will be printed before the value. For that I am using here r and c. So in matrix method, when it is printing, it will print like this. See here, here R1 C1, R2 C2, R1 C2, next R1 C3. After the R is equal to 1, this value will be printed. Once column value is 4, it terminates outside the loop. When it is terminating, I am telling to print the next line. The cursor will be come to the next line. Now cursor will be here. For this print here in the statement print /n in this escape sequence, automatically the cursor will be come here. After next it goes to the R value. R value will be incremented to 2. It will check the condition true. Again this value will be printed. Here R2 C1. If you are not using this /n, it will be horizontally printed. So when R is equal to 2, it will come to the next line. Next R2 C2, R2 and C3. This is the matrix method. Row row 1 column 1, row 1 column 2, row 1 and column 3. Here row 2 column 1, row 2 column 2 and row 2 column 3. So in this way we can print the matrix rows and columns by using this nested loop. Here in same way, suppose if we need to print the some 3 cross 4 matrix, means that is 3 rows and 4 columns, means instead of here row, I have declared as maximum value is 2. Here I can give 3. That means row will be up to 3 rows, and columns here instead of 3 we can give it here as 5. If we were giving 5 means totally 3 cross 5. Here 3 rows and 5 columns. That is totally 15 values can be generated. Rows and columns value will be generated. Here I am using 2 cross 3, that is 2 into 3, 6 values, rows and column values. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 values. In same way we can generate any kind of matrix, whether it is 2 cross 2 matrix, 3 cross 3 or 3 cross 4 or 5 cross 10, any matrix we can generate by help of this nested loop. See, now let us see another one example. Here by using this nested loop, now we are going to find the, or we are going to print the series of prime numbers. We are going to print the prime numbers. See, what are the prime numbers? The prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, these and all prime numbers. See, the prime numbers, it should be divided by itself and it should be divided by 1, then it is a prime number. See, here let us take 2, here 1 and 2, here let us take the number 2. See, 2 divided by 1, next 2 divided by 2. So this 2 times it is divisible by itself and it by 1. So this is the prime number. See here, before that, by help of this modulo division we can find the whether the number is divisible or not. See, already in the previous chapter we had seen in the arithmetic operator we are using the modulo division. See here, what are the arithmetic operators? Plus, minus, into, minus, division and modulo division, these and all the arithmetic operators. In that arithmetic operator, see, the difference between the division and the modulo division is the division, it gives the answer as quotient value. For modulo division we should use the percentage symbol. This is for division we use the slash symbol. Here suppose if you are using the modulo division, it returns the value, it gives the value answer as remainder value. See here, this 2 is divisible by 1, that means 2 ones are 2, remainder is 0. Here what is this? Is the quotient value. If we use 2 divided by 2 means answer is 1. Suppose for modulo division we should use the symbol, percentage symbol. 2 modulo divided by 2 means answer is 0, because the modulo division always returns the value, remainder value. So this is the remainder value. So this modulo division returns the remainder value. See, now we are going to check prime number. Suppose if you are using 2 modulo divided by 1, that is if the remainder value is 0, then it is divisible. So here 2 remainder value is 0, r is equal to 0 here, because here I am using modulo division. At same here 2 modulo divided by 2, here also the remainder value will be 0, remainder r is equal to 0. So here for each and every time, this is the important thing. For the prime number we should see whether the factor value is 2 or not. If it is equal to 2, then it is prime number. Suppose the factor value is greater than 2 or the factor value lesser than 2, then that is not a prime number. Here see fact value, this is the factor. How many? 2 factor, because first number it is divisible, remainder value is 0, so here fact is equal to 1. After that here 2 modulo divided by 2, then it is also remainder value is 0. Now factor value is 1. So because here 1 and 1 2 factor, so here this factor of number 2 is 2. Here if it is exactly equal to 2, then that is the prime number. Here it is exactly equal to 2, so this is the prime number. See, in the same way, now let us see the number 3. See here, if you are taking 3, 1, 2 and 3, let us divide this number 3 at very first. 3 divided by 1, modulo divided by 1, 3 modulo divided by 2 and 3 modulo divided by 3. Here also mainly we should check this factor value. See, 3 modulo divided by 1, that is here it is 0. 1 into 3, 3, remainder value is 0. So here fact, this one is 1 factor. Next here 3 divided by 2, here 3 divided by 2, here 2 ones are 2, remainder value is how much? Here 1. So here remainder value is equal to 1, here equal to 0. If it is 1, then that is not factor. Next here 3 divided by modulo divided by 3, here 3 ones are 3, remainder value is 0, here also equal to 0. So how many factor? Here 1, it is not equal to 0, so we should not consider this one. Here both this 1 and 3 are equal to 0 there, so it is 2 factor. Here factor is 2, 1 and 2. If it is exactly equal to 2, then we should consider as prime number. If it is greater or lesser than 2, then it is not a prime number. It is exactly 2, so this is also a prime number. See, now another one, let us consider this one. Let us take the 4 and we will check whether it is a prime number or not. Let us take this 4. Here I am checking the number 4. See, the value is from 1 to 1 2 3 4. Here first I am checking for each and every time I am going to modulo divide this 4 by 1, next modulo divided by 4 by 2, next modulo divided of 4 by 3, next modulo divided by 4 by 4. Here you see very first 1 into 4 4, here remainder value is 0, so r is equal to 0. Next 4 divided by 2, here 2 2s are 4, so remainder value is 0, here also 0. Next 4 divided by 3, here 3 1s are 3, what is the remainder value is 1, so here r is equal to 1. Next 4 modulo divided by 4, here 4 1s are 4, here the remainder value is 0, here also the remainder value is 0. See, now you check, this one is 0 1, this one is 0, this is not 0, this is 0. So now we want to calculate the factor value. See, now fact is equal to how much? If it is 0, we should consider here fact value is 1 2 1 2 and 3, so fact value is 3. See, this is the formula. If the fact value exactly 2, then that is the prime number. If it is greater 2 or lesser than 2, then it is not prime number. Here the fact value is 3, this is greater than 2, so this is not prime number, so you should not consider this 4 as prime number, it is not a prime number. See, now let us see the 5. See, suppose if you are taking number 5, for each and every time you divide this 5 by 1, modulo divided by 1, 5 modulo divided by 2, 5 modulo divided by 3, 5 modulo divided by 4 and 5 modulo divided by 5. See, here if you see, this is remainder value is 0, because 5 divided by 1 is 5, 1 5s are 5, remainder value is 0, so here it is 0. Here if you take 2 2s are 4, remainder value is 1, so this is not equal to 0, this is equal to 0. Here by 3, this also 1s are 3, remainder value 2, this also not equal to 0, not equal to 0. 5 divided by 4, this also not equal to 0, because the remainder value is how much? It is 1, so this is also not equal to 0. Here 5 modulo divided by 5, here 5 1s are 5, here this equal to 0, so this is equal to 0. See, here how many factor is there? See, if you want to calculate the fact value, this one is right, because the remainder value is 0, this is not, this is not, this is not, at last end 5 modulo divided by 5, this remainder value is 0, so this is right. Totally how much? This one, totally fact value is equal to 2. If it is 2, then that is the factor value. So here 5 is factor value. Just you check for 6, it will not the fact value will not be exactly 2, it will be more than 2. In same way, if you check 7, it will be exactly fact value will be 2. So this is the logic. By using this logic, we are going to write the program. By help of this program, we are going to print the prime number. See here I am declaring the variable loop variable. For to loop we need to declare the variable I and j loop variable. Next here up to how many numbers we need to print the series, the print the prime numbers. Suppose if you are giving 10, within the range 10, how many values prime numbers were there, that values will be printed. Suppose if you are giving 50, from 1 to 50, how many prime numbers were there, within the range from 1 to 50, all the prime numbers will be printed. So for the range I am mentioning the NO, that is number, NO or NUM, we can declare it as NUM, number. Next we need to count the factor value. It should be exactly 2. If it is 2, then that is the prime number. So here I need to declare the variable factor. So here I am declaring fact. This variable name as fact. Totally how many variables? 4 variables were there. Next step, here I am telling printf. Here enter the number. Here using the scanf function, you give the input value to where, number, NUM. Say here I am using the nested loop. Here for outer loop I am using I is equal to, from 1 to I is lesser than or equal to how much, the maximum range value is number. Between this I need to print the prime numbers. Next here increment value I plus plus. Next here again I am using one for loop. Here I am using the j value, initializing the j value to 1. Next j is lesser than or equal to number. Next j plus plus. Here I need to check the modulo division value. If modulo division value is 0, then the factor value will be incremented by 1. So for each and every time we should test the series. If the after completing, that is factor value is exactly 2, then that is the prime number. If where is it is greater than 2 or lesser than 2, that is not prime number, we no need to print that prime number. So here I am using the if condition. By help of this if condition I am going to check, it should be I value modulo divided by j value, it should be exactly 0. If it is 0, then I should increment the fact value. So here one thing, important thing, for each and every iteration, for suppose 1 to 10 numbers I need to check, means for I need to check 1, I need to check 2, 3, 4 etc. up to the maximum range value 10. For each and every number before checking I need to initialize the fact value to 0. So here you use the initialization value here before this loop. Here fact is equal to 0, initialize the value 0. Next here use the for loop, j is equal to 1, j should be lesser than or equal to number. Next j plus plus. Here now you use the check the condition. If this I modulo divided by j value equal to 0, then you increment the fact value. Here you close the if condition and close the inner loop. See, let us continue here the outer loop. See, next here after completing the inner loop, at finally I need to check if this, for each and every time the factor value is, if it is 0 the factor value will be incremented, if it is not equal to 0 then factor value will not incremented. So here after finishing the inner loop, if fact value is exactly this is relational operator, equal to operator, checking the inside the fact what is the value. If it is equal to 2 means then print the value of I value. Comma I leave one space I value. Next you close the if condition here, and after that you close the for loop here. After get ch and close the main brace here. See, this is the outer loop. Body of the outer loop, it continues here. Next, this is the inner loop. Next, here this is the wide main. This and all if part, open if and closing the if. See here, now let us see how this program execute. Here see, first let us take this output. Here enter the number. Suppose if you are giving, let us take simply, suppose if you are giving 5, this 5 will be stored in var num, variable num. So this is the first outer loop, and this one inner loop. This I value is for outer loop, this for loop is inner loop. This is inner loop. Here the outer loop value, let us see how it works. Very first the I value is how much? I value is 1. Here after getting the value for num in the scanf, now I value is how much? 1. It will, once it is check the condition true, it goes. Now fact value will be become it as 0. Next it comes here, j value is 1, it check the condition, I modulo divided by j, that is here what is the I value? I value is 1, I modulo divided by j is equal to 0, it check the condition. This is the condition. When I is equal to 1, now j is equal to, in the inner loop j is equal to 1, here 1 divided by 1, that is 1 divided by modulo divided by 1, this 0, because this remainder value is 0. So the fact value will be incremented. Now currently what is the fact value? Is equal to 1, because here 1 modulo division 0 is there. So next here it will goes to the next value, j value will be incremented to how much? 2, j is equal to 2. Here it will again check I divided by j, that means what is the I value? 1 divided by 2, that is not equal to 0. So next up to how much? Num value is 5, j is equal to 2, 3, j is equal to 4 and j is equal to up to 5. It will divide this 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3 and 1 by 4, 1 by 5, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4 and 1 by 5. For each and every time this outer loop value is 1, it takes the value 1 and it check with the inner loop. It takes the first value and each and every time it divides that 1 by here 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 5. Here what is the fact value? Here only the fact value will be increment to 1, but remaining it will not increment it, because here the condition will not satisfy. If it is I and j modulo divided by j is equal to 0, then only the fact value will be incremented. Here the remainder value is I and j modulo divided value is not equal to 0, so this fact value will not be incremented. After completing this, at last j value is 5, next it will come outside of the loop. This loop had completed here, next it goes here. It will check whether the fact value is 2. If it is 2, then I value will be printed. Here it is not 2, because I value, fact value is 1. It is lesser than 2. If it is lesser than 2, then that is not a prime number, so it won't print. So it come outside. Again it will goes to the outer loop. Here outer loop value, now I value is how much? It will be incremented to I is equal to 2. Now I value is 2. For each and every time in similar way it will check. When j is equal to 1, j is equal to 2, j is equal to 3, j is equal to 4, j is equal to 5. Up to 5 times this 2 will be inner loop value. This red color mark is inner loop value. The green color mark is outer loop value. When outer loop value is 1, this inner loop value 1 to 5 it will check. Outer loop value is 2, again it will from 1 to 5 it will check. Here say this is the condition. Here if condition I am checking for each and every time. I and j value should be, that is I value modulo divided by j value. I value is 2. 2 divided by how much? 1 j value. I value is 2 divided by 2. 2 divided by modulo divided by 2. 2 modulo divided by 3, 2 modulo divided by 4 and 2 modulo divided by 5. Here if you see, here this will be exactly 0. 2 modulo divided by 1 is 0. So this fact value will be incremented to 1 very first time. Next time it will check 2 modulo divided by 2. Here also it is equal to 0. So if it is equal to 0, the fact value will be incremented. So here the fact value is how much? Fact is equal to 2, because increment value, previous value plus 1. Next here 2 modulo divided by 3, this is not equal to 0. This is also not equal to 0. So what is the fact value? Fact value will be, factor value will be 2. If it is 2, next after when it is 5, after the j value will be incremented. If it is 6, it terminates the loop and it come outside of the loop. Here it will check. If fact value is exactly 2, then I am telling to print the I value. So in the output here only now it will print the value as 2, because 2 is the exactly, it has the fact value 2. So it prints the 2. Prime number, this is the prime number. In similar way, after completing, the I value will be now how much? I value will be 3. Next in similar way, j is equal to 1. This already we had seen. Here 3 by 1, 3 by 2, 3 by 3, 3 by 4, 3 by 5. Here this condition is true, modulo, so factor will be 1. 3 divided by modulo divided by 2, this not true. Here 3 modulo divided by 3, this is true. So here fact value will be 2. Next this is 3 modulo divided by 4 and 5, it is not. So for 3 also the fact value is 2, so it will print the fact value 3. Next it take 4. If it is take 4, then the fact value will be greater than 2. In similar way, if it is 5, the factor value will be exactly 2. So these 2, 3 and 5 will be printed. Suppose if you are giving the number as NUM is equal to 5. So in this way, suppose if you are giving the number as, instead of 5, if you are giving 500 or 5000, up to that range, every prime numbers will be displayed or printed in the display screen. So in this way we can print the prime numbers. So here we are using the, by help of this loop, that is nested loop, we are printing the checking the factor value and we are printing the prime numbers. Next, see this and all here, each and every time if you see, this is the outer loop and this is the inner loop. This loop will be repeated up to the constant times. Here if it is 5 means up to the 5 times will be the outer loop will be repeated. For each and every time repetition, this inner loop will be executed completely. See, suppose let us see another one example. In this example, here we are going to decide whether we need to repeat the loop or not. The outer loop will be decided by ourselves. So here this and all constant, by using that by constant value up to that time the loop will be repeated. Now we are going to see, it is not a constant time. At the run time we are going to decide whether we need to repeat the outer loop or not. See here, let us see this example. Here integer value I am going to declare I. This is for inner loop. Next, character value choice ch. This is for outer loop. Next here I am declaring the loop, do while loop, do open brace, here closing the do while loop. Here while, here I am using the condition. Here ch value. Before that, now let us see the body of this do loop. Here let us declare another one integer variable, option value. So opt option, totally 2 variable integer and 1 character variable. Here in the body of the do while loop I am going to printf, here /n. /n means at the next line it will print, here select 1 for even number, /n 2 for odd number. Here scanf percentage of d comma ampersand of opt. Next here if using one if condition. In this if condition you are saying, suppose if opt is equal to 1, you are selecting opt value as 1 means here you should initialize the I value to how much, 2. Next or enter 1 for even number, enter 1 for even number and next 2 for odd number. See here in scanf you are getting the value. If you are entering the 1, the even number should be printed. If you are entering the 2, then the odd number should be printed. Here next let us keep it another one variable, that is NO, maximum number. Suppose here if you are printing, we are telling to print 100 means from 1 to 100 how much even numbers were there, that should be printed, or odd number should be printed. So for that the maximum range, here I am using the NO value. Here after selecting this choice, here next step you should ask printf enter the number. Here scanf %d, next ampersand of NO. Here we are using the loop. Here let us use here while loop. Here while I is lesser than or equal to how much, NO. Here this is one loop, this is the inner loop. This do while loop, inside I am using the while loop. While I is lesser than or equal to NO, here I am telling to print the /n percentage of d, and I am telling to print the I value. This is while loop. Here I am incrementing the I with I plus 2, I is equal to I plus 2. Here the updation part, the updation expression, here I am updating the I value for each and every iteration, the value will be incremented by 2. See next, here I am closing the while loop. After that I need to close this do while loop. So here I am closing the do while loop. After I am closing this void main part. See this do while part. This do while loop I am closing here, this one. This is do while loop. Next this one void main. Here inside this one is while loop. See, this is the our inner loop, this do while is the outer loop. See here, say when you are running this, executing this program, how it will execute. At very first here it will enter into the do while loop. See, already we had seen the difference between the loops. Here in do while loop it will execute at least one times before the first iteration. Here it very first it enters into the do while loop. Here it will ask, it will print like this in the output, enter 1 for even number and 2 for odd number. Here OPT, that means option. Here first option it is used to print the even number, and the second option it is used to print the odd number. See, suppose if you are selecting the number 1 here, if you are selecting 1, this 1 will be stored in where? It will be stored in the variable OPT variable. OPT is equal to 1. Next it will check the condition. If OPT is equal to 1, then I am initializing the I value to 2. Suppose if you are selecting the number 2, then I value will be initialized to 1. See, now I am selecting the value 1. So here the main thing you should remember this I value will be how much now? I value will be 2. So here I am initializing the I value to 2. Next, if and else if part. Here after completing this if part, it will come outside. Here in this part it will ask enter the number. Suppose here you are giving 10 in the keyboard. Scanf means that is used to get the input value. Here in this scanf I am getting the value 1, I am choosing the even number. In this scanf I am giving the number 10. The 10 will be stored in where? NO, that is NO variable. Here after getting the value, here I am using the inner loop, that is the inner while loop. Here this one is while loop, inner loop. Here the condition is until the I value is lesser than or equal to NO. Each and every time, if this is the condition is, for each and every time it will check the condition. Now what is the current value of I? I value is 2, because I had selected the option 1. If option 1, then I will be initialized to 2. So here I initialized this 2 value. Here in this part it will check while I is lesser than or equal to NO. That means I should be lesser than, what is the NO value? 10. Now until the I value lesser than or equal to 10, this process inside will be repeated. Now the I value is 2, it check the condition, I is lesser than 10, 2 is lesser than 10. Okay, next it will print the I value. If condition is true, it will print the I value, and I value will be incremented by 2. So here I am printing the I value, and what is the I value? I value is I plus 2, previous value plus 2, previous value is 2, 2 plus 2, 4. Next it will check the condition, 4 is lesser than 10, this condition also true, again it will print the value 4, and 4 will be incremented by 2. Now for value will be 6, I value will be 6, it will check the condition true. Next 8 same way, after 10 same way, after 12 it will check the condition, 12 is lesser than or equal to 10, that is NO value is 10. Here 12 is greater than 10, so this condition is false, it come outside. Before that, this is the important thing, we didn't complete this do while loop. Here in the do while loop, here while part we should mention here printf do you want to continue, or press Y to continue, small letter Y to continue, close. Here scanf %C, next ampersand of this one CH, here while ch equal to small y. If you need y, capital letter Y, then you can give another one logical operator or operator, and you can give or ch is equal to capital Y also. Here I am using only the small y. Here this is the while part. Here I am completing the while part. Do while part. Here next it will ask, do you want to press Y to continue? Here in the scan of here you are getting the value to ch value. See, after the value is 12, this condition is false. Once it is false, it come to the next statement of the loop, inner loop. This is the next statement of the loop, inner loop. Here it will ask printf. Here after printing 10, it will ask press Y to continue. Suppose if you are giving Y, that Y will be, it will be stored in ch value. See, this Y will be stored in ch value. Here it will check if ch is equal to Y, then again the loop will be start from do while loop. Again this same value will be repeated from this output 1 to even number and 2 for odd number. Suppose here in this case you are selecting, instead of here option value 1, suppose if you are selecting the option value 2, then 2 will be stored in where this OPT value. Here in this if condition it will check if this is condition is false because OPT value is not equal to 2. Here it will, this is true because OPT value is 2. So if it is OPT value is 2, that is the odd number. If you given the value in the keyboard is 2, then I value will be automatically initialized to how much? 1. Here this I value will be 1. Next printf, it will ask enter the how many numbers to print. Suppose if you are giving same value 10, the 10 will be stored in no variable. Next inner loop, the inner loop I am telling from I should be lesser than or equal to no. Here what is the I value? I value is 1. No value is how much? 10. It will check 1 is lesser than 10. This condition true. So it will print here what is the value of I now. Now I value is 1. So here the value of 1 I value will be printed here 1. Next I will be incremented to previous value plus 2. Here previous value is 1. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Again it will check 3 is lesser than no value, that is no value is 10. 3 is lesser than 10. So this condition also true. Again it will be incremented by 2 and check 5, 7 up to 9 it will print. After 9 the I value will be 11. It will check whether 11 is lesser than or equal to no, that is 10. 11 is not lesser than 10. So it come outside of the inner loop. Here it will ask printf press Y to continue. Suppose if you are pressing Y, then again the loop will be here for each and every time it asks the range of the number. Here we are giving 10, instead of even giving some other number 100 or 200 means up to that range the even numbers and the odd numbers will be printed by using this program. So here this is also nested loop. Here what is the outer loop? Here this do while loop is the outer loop. Here this is the outer loop. And the next one, the inner loop. This one is the inner loop, while loop. Here this is the inner loop. Inside the do while we are using while loop. This is one kind of example.